Just feeling it out. Directional control on the ground. Alright, it's all clear. Hey, not bad. It's actually controllable. Literally at like 30% throttle. That's a little over half throttle. That's full throttle. Likes to be at about half.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
That's also at low rates. Let me put the high rates on.
High rates.
A little bit of left trim. A little bit more. Pitch trim feels pretty good. Maybe a hair of up trim. Which makes sense because it is tail heavy. A little bit of a low pass here. Quarter throttle. Flying weight is about 28 ounces.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
With this prop. The first flight I did on it, I had a larger prop, a 9x6, which is what the motor recommends. And that flight was only 2 minutes long. It was a handful from takeoff to landing. Look at that thing, that looks good. But anyway, that big ass prop on the front was way too much weight, which was perfect actually for the center of gravity, but it was horrible for the gyroscopic forces that it was making. And this prop is a smaller, I think it's a, I think a 6 by, I don't even know, I have to look. Still has plenty of power on demand. Anything above half throttle, I can feel the instantaneous like result from the prop wash over the tail. Power off here. Let's see if I can do a little touch and go. There's a touch and a go.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Only half one though on the upwind wheel there, or the downwind wheel. These 3 channels. I haven't flown 3 channel in shit probably 20 years.
Load rate.
So I'm kind of just now feeling them out again. All right, don't fly into me. Boink. Now, it's not exactly the best flying plane, but for one that I've hand built, dude, I'm happy with it. Lost a little power there, or almost. Let's get some altitude, see if we'll do a little loop or anything like that. See, when I go above half throttle, it has that, it's a weird tendency it's doing. See how it's kind of mushing up? That's what the first flight was. I was kind of like
1 minute.
panic mode, full throttle, save the day, but that's a lot of right aileron just to get that thing to turn. That's all that P factor off that bigger prop. All right, there's a stall. Pretty typical. Power off right now. Yeah, it takes a lot of input on that rudder. That's like full left, full right. It's predictable though. Before it wasn't very predictable on the first flight, which was only 2 minutes. Yeah, with all that trim in there for power on level flight, when I'm idle like that, you see it wanting to go to the right. My thrust alignment might be a little bit off on it as well, but I do like having it pretty quiet without the 049s are, you know, the TDs and all that. It's not turning 20,000 RPM on a... Oh god! When in doubt, power out. All right, that's a 5-minute timer. I do have telemetry on here. We'll see if I get an alarm or anything. I meant to get a look at the temperature and all, but it's so hard to look when flying.
High rates.
I had to mechanically move my rudder push rod in 2 holes just to get more throw, both for taxiing on the ground and for just general control in the air. But there we go, that's hands off. Level flight.
Minute over.
A little bit of right still, just a hair, not much. It's very well mannered here at like 25 to 40% throttle. Like it's happy there. You go above that halfway mark though, it just wants to really pitch up. I'm like climbing with nose down elevator, so leads me to think my engine's thrust vector is too high, too much positive, which I can change that. I've got a modified 2 pieces of balsa that are mounted to the motor to give me the clearance on the cowling for the prop, but I can just sand that back and angle it. Try another low pass. It looks so good in the air, especially on those clouds that we got today. Pretty sky, a real tropical air mass. High pressure above us, but we're getting a lot of Gulf moisture making its way up here. And
2 minutes over.
very well behaved at low power. I mean, it's a Cub, it's not made to go fast. There's a breeze picking up. I'm not going to get too low here. I do have the wing struts for it. Of course, they're not on it now, but they're just not quite finished yet. I got a feeling this will be doing a lot more static display than flying. But after flying it today, this is like really truly the maiden flight. Because the first flight I did on it was mildly terrifying because it was calm like this and the wind picked up. And it was a little bit out of control for the first 30 seconds because I was trying to overcompensate with power, but that was actually like the worst thing to do. And then knowing that today, I'm kind of putting around here at 40% throttle, it's nice and happy. Still 11.3 volts. Plenty of power. I think I'm using a 1300 milliamp battery. That's like 75% throttle. Just pitches up so much. That's full throttle. Up there with the heavy. Oh, there's a snap. That was a torque snap. It did not want to be climbing that high angle of attack. Power off is, the glide ratio is decent for being on overweight. Like the plan says 19 ounces is the weight that's published on the plan, but I emailed SIG to ask them. It's a Herr kit, but SIG sells it, and I said, hey, does that 19 ounces include the fuel tank and fuel, or is that like operating weight? And they didn't know. So I'm rolling around at 28 ounces right now, total weight. So I think the original fuel tank was a 6 ounce.
4 minutes over.
All right, let's bring it in for a landing. One more low pass here. The wind's actually picking up. That's why I'm kind of wobbly here. It does not like wind. It's not a very stable airplane as far as yaw goes, like that high amount of dihedral and oh, it's really picking up now. I'm gonna try to land on the pavement. The grass is try not to hit myself here. Hey, I'll take that. That's right, man.